wanted to welcome Brandon and Stephanie to another episode of Meet the Elite. I'm Alex Foley, and you guys are the heads of our vacation rental department.
Thanks for having us.
Excited to talk
Thank
to you
you for having
guys.
us.
I got so many questions about vacation rentals. I'm glad to have you guys. How's everything been going in the vacation rental world?
Busy. We're starting to get into our peak season. All the snowbirds are coming in, which is good for us.
I could tell by the traffic.
Yeah. Yeah. The traffic's fun on that freeway, isn't it?
We live in Queen Creek, and they turned Ellsworth into one lane, which is like the main way to get out of Queen Creek. I'm like, why do this in the winter?
Yeah.
Right.
It's the worst time to do it.
We had a big complex that we managed that just took the pool down for an entire month
Oh,
to
heated?
resurface.
Yeah.
To resurface the pool, but wrong month.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and for
Is it 'cause-
pools, there's certain things you can't do in the summer, depending on the type of pool. And so I don't think they had a choice, but it was terrible timing for us. So,
Well, yeah, if it's plaster, if it's too hot or too cold, it cracks.
yeah. in
Same
the
with Pebble
summertime.
Tech. It's like,
One of them you can do in the summertime. The
Yeah.
other one you can't because it'll crack. And I can't remember which one is which. But
I think it's Pebble Tech you can't do in the summer because it'll like expand and crack. And then
Well, it's
plaster you
appearing.
can't do in the winter because it'll contract and crack.
Crazy.
I know, right?
But I wish everybody was on our time schedule, right? On our high season time schedule.
Oh,
But
yeah.
seems like they're not.
Does that, like, if you book somebody for, like, let's say, like, a month stay and they take the pool down, does that, like, you got to give them back their money?
Yeah,
and
and it
leave them?
happened with
Wow.
this specific complex. We had to, we contact the owners. We tell them, look, this is something out of even your control. I mean, the HOA is the one doing the work. But at the end of the day, we marketed a property that had a community pool, spa.
That was heated.
Now they can't
down.
use those features. And so we have to adjust. And so we come up with some sort of a discount depending on how much they've paid and how much we think that amenity is worth.
How did the
So-
people react?
I mean, some people, everyone's different. You get people who, at the end of the day, they wanted that pool. And so we actually will work through, there's a new, it's like the VRBOs for pools. It's called Resort Pass. So what we do is we'll get a pass
I've heard of
to
that.
a pool somewhere nearby so that they can still enjoy a pool. It's not for their entire stay, but it's a, hey, we're really sorry. Let's try to get you out for a weekend to the South Mountain Resort Pool or something like that.
I remember there was like an ad a while back where if you're like a homeowner with a pool, you could like market your pool to
Yeah.
be used in the afternoon.
That's a
I'm
thing,
assuming
too.
did like VRBO buy up that little company and
What
bring it
happened
in?
was COVID hit, and a lot of hotels specifically, they wanted to find ways to make money. And so
Yeah.
the hotels didn't have people staying in their rooms, and so
Yeah.
they said, "How can we get people to come? They'll come just use our pool for the day." And your La Quintas aren't probably doing very well on Resort Pass,
Or your
but
Holiday Inn
your
Express,
Wild
yeah.
Horse Pass,
Yeah.
with the water parks that they have, it's a little different, and people are
Biltmore,
attracted to that.
Scottsdale. There's
Yeah, talking
mostly
stick.
resort
Venetian.
passes for not private pools.
Yeah,
It's for
okay.
public pools, but in
I've seen the
spas and-
private pool like available on random Instagram ads.
Yeah.
You know how I get, but like
People
was like,
throw them for birthday
wants that?
parties.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of the
That's
start, but if you think about it, that was the start of Airbnb. Was some guys basically trying to rent out rooms within people's homes
Oh,
to
yeah.
make them supplemental income, and then Airbnb blew up into what it is today. So I think this is kind of the start of that for pools, and now I think it seems to be heavily these hotels that are on Resort Pass
that makes sense though.
and getting business. So
That's why like you can see the bookings sometimes for hotels are like they've been deeply affected by Airbnbs, man.
well, and we don't have any proof of this, but we're starting to think that they're lobbying against vacation rentals
Oh, for
because
sure.
we're having a ton of changes happening,
Oh, of
and
course.
because their business is being affected by ours, it just seems like there's been some recent changes that have benefited them.
Oh, I can imagine though. They were like completely dumpstered though.
well,
You've got to think about the
on
normal
top
hotel.
of COVID plus
for
the
sure.
influx of vacation rental
Mhm.
investors. I mean, before, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, there weren't a lot of investors in the vacation rental business.
No.
It was more of a, I've got a
Long-term.
house in Arizona and I use it a couple months out of the year and I need to rent it.
Yeah, it was like long term, like I did. That was what your like investment homes were
Exactly.
like. Yeah.
And then people saw how much money people were making kind of in that COVID boom where everyone was going to a vacation rental, which was a surprise to us in a way. But then with that influx of investors coming into the market, it kind of changed how much money you could make on a vacation rental.
Totally. And it's like I think there's like a market for both too. You know what I mean?
Uh,
Yeah, there's always like a cutthroat aspect in like real estate where like everybody thinks they're in competition with one another. Like if we're traveling with baby Liam, he's 10 months old. It's like we're staying in Airbnb because there's gonna be a place with a crib. You know what I mean? So we can put him to bed. It's like so much better feeling to like have his own little room and a
Yeah.
crib
Have
that we
your
can put him
fridge,
in.
be able to make him
Yeah,
breakfast.
Totally. And he's got like he's always fucking hungry. You know what I mean? So it's like we always have to have like a fridge and have like a high chair, and like a lot of Airbnbs offer that.
Yeah.
But like if Bree and I were like, oh, without the kids, it's like a hotel is easier. So it's like I get the aspect of both. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I think there's reasons that you use one or the other, and there's markets too that kind of gear you towards one or the other, just because they're heavily, hotels are heavily vacation rentals. But I mean, you do a lot of our onboarding.
Mhm.
What do you see right now? More investors or more of these homeowners that have a personal home and need to rent it?
Honestly, we have two types. One are we got transferred and we're moving
Mhm.
and we don't want to move all our stuff and we have a 3% mortgage and we don't want to
sure,
give that
yeah.
up and therefore we just want to rent our house out.
Mhm.
There's a
Mhm.
lot of that. And then there's also people that are just getting in the market early and they're saying, "Hey, we want to move to Arizona someday." And 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, they'll be, "Oh, we're ready to move in now." So I wouldn't call those investors. They're people that really are
Yeah.
investing in the market that
They're
have
getting
already
in early
bought.
for their nest egg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
occasional investor, but
Mhm.
not as much. Not as much.
Well, and like you said, long terms seem to always be just about the numbers, and that's
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
investors are really more
Mhm.
about. And vacation rentals, I guess the one risk is we can give you a projection, but at the end of the day, 3 months later, the market can change, and now that projection has changed. On a long term rental,
Mhm.
you have a 12-month lease, and other than the eviction that could happen,
Yeah.
you know what to expect over those next 12 months because it's set in stone. And so
Mhm.
there's kind of some give and take, I think, with both of those. And investors I seem to be drawn to one or the other depending on the market.
And
It's like I mean evictions. You bring that up. It's the like long terms like worst fear.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I've pretty much like worked out a system, and sometimes there's flaws in it, but most of the time I can get the people that aren't paying and have been served a 5-day to just meet me and give me the keys and get out, so I can use that deposit to like cover the unpaid rent and like maybe
And
if we have to
save
clean,
them, too.
and then hopefully have someone come in the next month, so you can do it pretty efficiently. It's just like if people don't pay, you got to be on it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you have to be 5-daying them. You have to be texting them constantly, being like, "You're going to court. You're gonna have a judgment against you. You got to give me the
Yeah.
keys, basically."
I'm pretty matter of fact like that.
I mean,
Too.
you have
I'm
to
like,
be.
look, we only have one relationship. You pay rent
Yeah.
on time, and I
Or
provide
you're
a
out.
good house.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, but there are
That's it.
those agents though that they seem to get very personal. with
Oh, I
their-
know.
with
It's a
their tenants,
disaster. Don't ever
and
do
it makes it so much harder
You
when
can't.
the 5-day notice is supposed to be sent, but the tenant's telling you, "Oh, here's what came up.
I
I'm going to
know.
pay you by this date." At the end of the day, we have to do
You
what's right
can't,
for our
dude.
client and protect them. And then, look, you can still make something work with a tenant if they pay. If they don't, you have to be in a place where you can get them out as soon as possible.
It's hard. I mean, honestly, you feel bad for them. They're
Yeah.
like, this has happened, blah blah. They've always got a story, but it's like, okay. At the end of the day, you have to sit down and be like, who is it I work for here?
Yeah.
Right. And
This
like,
is
if it was
business.
my mortgage
Yes.
that I had to pay because you didn't pay on time, what would I do?
Yeah.
And typically, it's like, okay, you have to be heartless. It's hard
Nobody
for people
gives
to do.
someone a house for free.
Yeah, I
there's
mean-
never a world where that's the case. So,
Some people, like tenants, think that's the case. Like, oh, I have this thing come up in my life. It's like, well, they do that too. The owners have shit come up in their life too, but they still got to pay that bill, or then the house is going to go back to the bank, and it's a hard like conversation.
Yeah. One thing I learned from Steph was when she does some of her lease signings, she would have the people come in person.
Oh, yeah?
This is kind of an old school thing now because everyone does things online, but she would say to them, "Look, our relationship is we give you keys and you give us rent. That house is yours while you pay us. And as soon as you stop paying us, that house is no longer yours. If you don't hold up your end of the bargain,
We're gonna have a problem.
we're gonna have a problem."
I mean,
and that's our
that's-
relationship.
That's
And-
smart
We're
of
gonna
you
have a
because
problem right away.
I do the same thing, except for I do it in like the showings. When I
Mhm.
go to show a rental, it's like I do it in person and only in person. There's no self showings because I want to meet the people, and usually you can get a good judge
Their
of
reaction,
character and
yeah.
how they are, if they show up on time. Like if people are like 20 minutes late to a rental appointment, like I don't even fucking stay. I'm gone.
like
you know what I
somebody-
mean?
yeah.
Like I only show it to the people that are like on time, and I know that they're like normal people, and I meet them to get the money to move in. But like it's the same thing.
and they're
you're
prepared to
doing.
pay. Like
Yeah.
the numbers too being a shock to somebody like, oh, there's a security deposit. Well, yeah. What did you think there was? Like,
Yeah.
there's clear things that just right away can tell
Totally,
you
yeah.
that's probably not the best tenant for.
The nice thing about vacation rentals, though, is we
Yeah.
don't have evictions.
Yeah.
We don't let people into houses in vacation rental without paying up front.
Yeah.
So I really do. That's a selling proposition to us with our owners too, because they do. Because what
Yeah.
you mentioned, it's a little scary sometimes on the investor side because they think that that's a big problem. Also, evictions aren't a big problem in Arizona either. This
Yeah,
is
I know.
compared
very,
to compared
very,
to some other
The
states.
courts are
very
super friendly
landlord
about
friendly
getting them
here,
out. Yeah.
and it doesn't take forever
I know.
to get them out. So both ways, I think it's okay. But I
Mhm.
do like that about vacation rental. We always have the money before keys are due.
Yeah, it's like hotel law or something like that, right? Like,
Hotel
so
law.
if they're trying to like stay past their stay, you can just go in there and get them out.
We literally can call the police at 11 o'clock on the last day based on our rental agreement, and we can just trespass them out of the property. Way different than evicting them. So, because
Totally.
you're right, it's
Yeah.
hotel law.
They don't have any like landlord tenant act laws in place, which is great.
No,
No.
it's there's not a lot of laws out there for vacation rentals right now. We're kind of seeing, a new court case comes to
Uh-huh.
basically set in stone what future court cases are going to be ruled, because
sure.
nothing's come up, and then this court case comes in and they say, look, we're ruling this way, and then everyone says, okay, this is how this is going to be ruled, so
sure.
we just all react accordingly. But there's not anything specifically written for vacation rentals. Everything is specific to hotels, and we just kind of use that same law that applies to us because we're not a long-term rental.
Mm-hmm. It's like temporary access, temporary use.
Temporary
yeah.
housing.
Yeah.
It's a different.
Now,
But we
one-
had to learn the hard way, though, to be honest.
For sure.
We had somebody overstay once, and way back in the day, 14 years ago, we were kind of doctoring up a regular AAR lease.
Yeah.
And
Handwriting them for
Yeah.
every
handwriting
guest.
them and doing
Wow.
all this stuff that we don't do now. But
That was fun.
Yeah. Go meet them and get them to sign.
we had some
Old
people
school.
stay.
Old school.
and
I
they
love it.
overstayed.
Dropping
and,
off deposits and everything
Yeah.
for
we
a
had the whole
vacation rental.
thing. But we don't do that anymore.
But
But
you learn because it only takes one person to not leave, and
Yeah.
for you to realize now after
We got to change this shit. We got to do
can't-
these addendums. We
Yeah.
got to do this. We got to. I mean, I get it for sure. It's like you always get a new hurdle that you're overcoming, and there's like the one bad seed that's like, okay, we got to go in. We got to change this lease. We got to do this differently.
yeah,
Blah blah blah.
it caused us to call the lawyer right away and go,
Yeah.
what are we doing wrong? And
Yeah.
we fixed it right away. And look, it actually, even our bad situation with someone that didn't leave on time, we did have to evict them that first time. But honestly, they didn't take anything. They didn't even trash the house. They didn't do anything. They just didn't pay for the 3 weeks it took us to get them out.
to get them out.
And then of
3
course,
weeks, man.
3 weeks it took us
Yeah.
to get them out. And then we also had to obviously readjust other reservations, and it creates a
Yeah.
little bit of a downstream effect. But it worked out, and it was a good lesson to have to learn.
Yep.
So what do you do? Like, what'd you guys do to overcome somebody being able to stay there for 3 weeks? Did you like get new like automatic door codes where you can like? Did they like change the locks or something when they were staying there for those 3 weeks, or what happened?
No, but because we had an old style lease, we
Mhm.
also weren't able to do anything about it. We had to fully evict them. So we had the same. We were under landlord tenant act because
Yeah.
of the lease that we wrote.
So you
back
had to go to
then.
like
Yeah.
San Marcos and do an actual.
We had to
eviction.
do the
Yeah.
whole thing, and it worked
And
out.
then they never even showed up for the court.
course not.
It was just once it got to that point, they actually left, and we went in.
But you would have thought TVs would have been gone, all the furniture would
Yeah.
have gone.
No, they
so-
they were
they
just
didn't take
using the
anything.
place for
they
free.
They
and,
just knew how to work the system.
and knew
Yeah.
it. So
anyway, but lesson learned.
So if you were gonna buy a vacation rental now, where do you think you would want to get one?
For me, Flagstaff is the best
Hmm.
place in Arizona for vacation rental. It's kind of a year-round destination. It's got skiing, it's got NAU, it's got the summer heat of the folks in the valley that like to get out of Dodge. And it's got a lot to do. So
and so
I
that's from an investor's. If you're looking for the best numbers or return on
I think
investment,
I
you're
think
probably going to find
investor
it there.
wise, yes, for
Agreed.
sure. And I
Agreed.
even think for some people that live here in the valley to be able to invest up there, they also can use it.
Yeah.
Another nice thing about vacation rentals is, look, it's fully furnished. You block your own time and go up there with your family, get out of the heat when
Yeah.
you want to, and stuff like that. So my money's in Flagstaff actually. But if you like the valley or you have properties in the valley, anything around the core, but not in the core, is
Not
best.
Phoenix. Yeah.
Phoenix and Scottsdale are a bit saturated.
Yeah. Phoenix is.
But
And it's not to
anything
say
in the
that there's
circle
not
around.
good rentals in those areas. There's great rentals
Yeah.
and across the valley of
Mhm.
Arizona. It's just the summertime here in Arizona is you're dealing with just a completely different market of supply and demand versus what we
Mhm.
see in the peak season. And so
Mhm.
your castles, one, they're only marketing to a specific, clientele that can afford those homes.
Mhm.
But two, in the summertime, no vacationers are coming to Arizona. It's a lot of
Not
locals.
Phoenix, that's for sure.
Yeah,
It's a lot of relo. It's a lot of
people in between
different
homes,
people.
people that just want to get away to a pool home
Yeah.
and have a birthday party for their
Oh yeah,
their
maybe
kid or
somebody
something.
without a pool, they're booking a place to stay for a kid's birthday weekend. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
They
Yeah.
do. And then to your point earlier about the hotels, look, we're competing in the summer against the hotels. So
And they'll drop
um,
low. Yeah.
Yeah.
they
It's
drop
savage.
They can
if you
drop.
can stay at the Phoenician for $1.29,
I know, it's crazy.
like you're gonna do that. Even if you have to get 2 rooms.
Yep.
Versus a private home. They have lots and lots of amenities, and
In
it's
the
kinda nice.
summertime, I actually think from May to October, staying in a vacation rental is financially better than being in a long-term rental, because what you can rent that vacation rental for, with all your utilities included, with the furniture included, with you get a better rate than what you're paying for those 6 months in a long-term rental with your utilities, on top of everything. They're the best deal.
If you can
those
only
6
if you
months
can
out of the
only
year.
do 6 months, yeah.
But the other 6 months out of the year, you
You're-
got to get the
it-
heck
yeah.
out of Dodge, because
Yeah.
the rates are completely different.
Yeah, they're
and-
probably double, triple. Yeah.
exactly.
I
Double and
believe it.
triple.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah. I mean, I
But-
believe it. Yeah.
That's what we see some owners do, though, from an investor standpoint. Is we have some that live 6 months here during the summer because they know they're not going to make good money, and they
Mhm.
rent their place somewhere else for those 6 months, and it's somewhere where that's their peak season, somewhere else, and then they switch and they go stay in the down season at their other place, and then they rent out the peak season here, and they've kind of got 2 places to
we
live.
we have people that actually have 3, and they stay in each of their homes in the off season. So they make all the money in the high season wherever
That
they're,
makes
and that
sense,
could be
yeah.
a place in Colorado, or
So
it could be a
that's
place in
another
Hawaii.
strategy, I think, for
Yeah,
investors.
some people just travel like that, and that's just how they want to live their life.
I mean, it's funny you say Flagstaff because I have quite a few friends that have like their own Airbnbs in Flagstaff, and it's like each one of them. Every time I see them, because they always end up talking to me about real estate, is like, oh, it's so terrible. There's people that are bitching about this and that, and it's like one of them has like a cabin, right? And last time he had a person show up, they're like, it smells like cigarette smoke. I cannot be staying here. It's like, dude, it's a fucking cabin. It's a wood burning stove. You know what I mean? Those little like metal ones that you put the wood
You're
in. And
smelling
it's like radiant
regular
heating the
smoke,
home.
not
Yeah.
cigarette smoke.
So people are nuts. It's like, how do you guys cope with all those fucking
We get it,
inquiries and
on occasion,
questions?
too.
Well, and it's different up there. You're mentioning like things that if someone
There's some
complained
dust
down
on the
here,
cabin floor. You're
Yeah.
like, it's a
Motherfucker, it's a
if
cabin. I
you
know.
complained down here, we'd understand. But up there, it's like, what why are you
Yeah,
in
dude.
Flagstaff
Why-
if that's
Right.
what you're looking
You're
for?
afraid of the
is-
outdoors? Get out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have never booked it. It's crazy. It's like,
Kinda
yeah,
like-
dude, it's really cold up there at night. We use wood to heat the house. It's
Yep.
gonna smell a little bit like smoke.
What's funny too is when they get up there in the summertime and they're like, we're trying to get out of the heat. Why is there no AC?
You're like,
Well,
oh.
there isn't any in 50% or more of the
So on-
properties in Flagstaff.
On
They just
that
don't
point,
need
how
it.
do you deal with all those complaints? I know that like my friends, they're bombarded by these stupid questions at all hours of the day. How do you guys cope with that?
Well, we're lucky enough to have a 24-hour concierge team.
Okay.
So we do answer the phone, text, and email 24 hours a day with people that are inquiring and people that are in house. People that are here. So we're kind of trained to deal with the questions
and
and the answers.
disclosures.
We do as
Yeah.
much as we can. You're right. To put it in
On
our
the
listings,
listing,
so we
Mhm.
In the
are telling
instructions that go to the
people-
guests
Yeah, like
before they check
Big
in.
old bulletin, no
repetitive.
AC, like
Our-
that type
yeah,
of
Yeah.
stuff.
Our
Yeah,
whole goal
yeah.
is to say, please don't call.
Like it's not the
You
short description, like the listing headline,
Mhm.
but it is one of the things mentioned in the description.
Yeah.
And then we're repetitive about it because, again, we come from a place of the last thing we want is for you to get to the place you've rented and have it not be what you expected.
Right.
We
For sure,
want it
yeah.
to be
A good stay.
beyond your expectations if we can, or to at least meet your expectations at the bare minimum.
So it's like, yeah, I mean, it's like a hospitality side of it where you're trying to provide like a grade A customer experience as
Yeah.
well as you're trying to protect the residential real estate investment for an owner.
Yep. And what's
Mhm.
tough about our business is we live and die off of those reviews.
For sure,
And
yeah.
so all it takes is for one guest, no matter how hard you try, to misinterpret your intentions and
Oh, for
think
sure. And they love doing it.
and think you misadvertised on purpose or
Oh,
did
yeah.
anything, purposely. Um, that it's hard to overcome when someone leaves you a 1-star review.
I know. I
We're
get. I-
super transparent though. We really try and tell people everything before they come, and we talk to them a lot before they ever get here. They like. to your
So is
point,
it like the reviews that on the particular house that you have listed for rent that are the ones that like determine the bookings, or is it like the overall company reviews that determine it? Is it like
a little bit of both? When
Okay.
you go on any of those booking sites, it gives you kind of a company score so
Uh.
that you can see what Elite Vacation Rentals does as a company. And by the way, we're at like 4.8 out of 5 stars all the time. So
Yeah.
we have all the designations and super hosts and premier partners and all the different websites have something, but we're it. in all of
96
them.
out of 100 reviews that we get are 5 stars.
Yes.
But we have team meetings every 2 weeks to talk about those 4 reviews that weren't
Yeah, it
5
sucks.
stars because
It's impactful.
again,
I know.
yeah,
It shouldn't
it's
be.
everything in our business. And what's nice though is I guess these booking channels have tried to turn the tables a little.
Yeah.
They allow you to also review the guests. And
Oh,
so
sure.
what that helps with is one, but when a guest books your home initially, you can look into where have they stayed previously.
Oh, yeah.
They've had 0 stays on
you
Airbnb.
can warn others.
That's a yellow flag.
Or they
Yeah.
have some negative comments. Or
Yeah.
We just don't take those.
Yeah. It's not worth the risk.
not
It's
worth
not
it.
worth the occupancy for a couple nights and then they do something to,
Mhm.
your property or
They live up to the
Mhm.
expectation of what they.
Yeah,
they
they're a
review-
terrorist.
Yeah.
They're a terrorist. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what those people are like.
So
It sucks too. I mean, I get all my reviews through like Zillow for long-term rentals, and it's like, dude, I have like 1-star reviews for like not accepting somebody's application, even though they're a degenerate. You know what I mean? It's like I can't do anything about it either. So I kind of wear it as like a badge of
well,
honor.
harder on the long term side.
I know.
Because nobody writes
reviews,
a great review about you collecting.
No, they
rent.
all
No,
hate
no.
me. Yeah, I know.
They don't.
they
care.
collected my
My
rent
Yelp-
on time.
did
That's
My
such a
the
Yelp
good
thing.
job.
reviews are fucking hilarious.
Oh wow!
dude.
we just
Yeah.
got
my
a
dishwasher fixed.
we just
Rock
got
on.
a post on, I think it was like an Instagram post for Arizona Elite, and it was a guest who came into one of our condos. They were scheduled to stay for a month and a half. They
They booked the wrong
they
place.
booked a place that obviously they didn't look far enough into. They
Okay,
had
yeah.
an elderly mother coming.
You mean
with
they didn't
them.
read?
There was an elderly
Really?
mother included
dare
in the
you.
booking, and this is a condo that as soon as you walk in,
It's
you have
got
to go up the stairs.
Oh, perfect.
Everything is on the second level. They get there, and the first night they start complaining about someone looking at them oddly next door. There being an odd smell in the unit, and them needing to leave right away. Then it comes to light that there's an elderly mother. They can't deal with the stairs, and they want a full refund.
Okay.
We can't give you a full refund when you've blocked out a month and a half of our calendar that can't be rebooked to anyone now.
So they didn't read or they didn't look at the pictures. Perfect.
and now they're bombing us on
Yeah.
our
Picture of
reviews
staircase.
because of
Yeah.
their own mistake.
It's
And
so obnoxious.
so these are just things that again we try to do what we can with the things we can control, but the things out of our control,
That's
that's
an example though
business.
of a 1-star review that's completely unwarranted.
I know. What can you do about it?
The-
Though?
not
They give
one
you a
thing.
chance
The
to, like,
house
rebuttal?
doesn't smell. The
It's
house
a
didn't.
great unit. It was perfectly
there was no
clean.
weirdos in the gated community parking lot.
It's a private
nothing.
Do they like let you rebuttal though on like Airbnb
Yes.
and stuff?
The booking
Okay.
channel totally sided with us on this, but the booking channel still can't help with them leaving us this review
Yeah.
on some other platform. So.
Yeah, no, I get it.
The other thing that's hard about the reviews in our business is every place they book, the reviews stay with that place.
Mm-hmm.
So if they book on Airbnb, the reviews stay there. If they book on Vrbo, the review or Expedia, all of the different ones. So you sort of have to build up reviews on each of these sites
sure,
before
yeah.
you kind of rank up the website
That's
so
how
that
they
your
like
property
keep
gets
their proprietary threshold on
Yeah.
their bookings. Is
you
like
make
they-
their algorithm work for you.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean,
And then you get higher and higher up the list.
And then
with your
sometimes you
properties.
see a property that is doing really well on one site and it's not doing as well on others, and then your choice is, well, do we gear up and go towards one site, or do
Oh.
we try to get some more bookings on these other sites that our search results maybe aren't as good? And there's kind of this happy balance, which is tough to find, but that's our business of figuring out where can we get these bookings from, how can we maximize the rate and the occupancy at the same time, and it's tough.
We're kind of big on distribution. So we like to be on a lot of websites. So,
Mm.
I mean, I think we're on close to 40 websites now. The industry's grown up quite a bit. And everyone knows the big ones, Vrbo and Airbnb and Booking.com and
For
Expedia
sure.
and all that. But there's so many other players in it now, and a little bit smaller players, but very niche specific. They are very. We have one that's just for people that stay within 7 days for not more than 7 days. That's literally their whole
So short
website is
stays
designed for that.
booked last minute.
Last minute,
Get a
short
last
term
minute
stays.
deal.
So that's how niche specific it gets.
Hmm.
But we're lucky too because we use the MLS and some other things that
Oh, you
other
use MLS?
yeah, because it's
Especially
nice for
for
other
our
realtors to know.
30-day minimums, because
People like you
you
that
get
were
you get
remodeling.
agents who have clients in between homes, and they just sold their house, they need somewhere in between
Yeah.
before they buy the next home, and that vacation rental, again, especially over summer, is the perfect situation. Put your furniture in storage, get a fully included vacation rental to move into, and don't have to move your stuff really twice. It just goes into storage. You wait till your house is done, and then you move in.
Yeah, that's what we ended up doing when we bought our new house. I just used you though. Way easier,
Yeah.
instead of going MLS. It's like MLS now. It sucks because like I'm pigeonholed into only using pretty much Zillow for residential rentals because like MLS is just agents that are calling to because no one wants to like rent. You
Is
know what I
anyone
mean?
doing rental leads?
No, they call like
Well, who
agents.
wants to show rentals now?
They shouldn't.
It's
You know what
so
I mean? 'Cause,
hard.
like, but the ones that are calling, like agents will call me off Zillow and be like, I have a client that's interested in this rental. Why is it not on MLS? I'm like, because I don't really want to talk to you. You know what I mean? Like, but they'll be like, oh, well, they only want 6 months. And it's really because this person wants to find them somewhere while they try and sell them another house. But if you have a long-term rental, why would I want somebody in there for 6 months? It's just going to be like wear and tear. They got to move furniture in and out in 6 months.
I agree.
Like they're going to be
The
like,
vacation rental way is the better way to go for that.
for sure, if that short of term, it's like there's no point for a long term rental for only 6 months. It just doesn't make any sense. But like that's all I've tried. I can use. I've tried like Homes.com. They said they were like up and coming or something like that.
Mhm.
But like me, Rhett, Cody, Brianna, Brittany, all of our fucking MLS IDs have already been registered to somebody else. Like somebody went on there and just started registering agents and taking their accounts. And so like I called Homes.com to be like, oh, can I try and list rentals? And they're like, well, you need to talk to our sales team. I'm like, I don't want to talk to your sales team, dude. I want like a login that works because somebody already stole mine. My
Your
AF
agent
593 MLS code has already been claimed by somebody else, and it wasn't me.
That's
So like I can't list there. It's like, okay, they tried to be a solution, but like I don't want to jump on a Zoom conference call to be sold this when I just want to be able to access my account,
Yeah.
So it's like very confusing, and there's very limited options for long-term rentals. It's either
And are you paying to get onto Zillow, or
I
are you
pay per
using the
listing,
free
yeah,
listing?
No, I pay.
Okay,
I
'cause
have
Yeah.
to.
that's what we did too.
You have
was
to prioritize, and you got to pay.
Otherwise,
you're
we
never
weren't
going to get
getting
anything.
anything.
Yeah,
they don't
It's a
give you
requirement.
enough of a boost or whatever it
It's
is
like
in their algorithm.
it's like a pay to play, and I'm okay with that. It's like $40 now per listing, but if you don't do it, you're never going to rent it.
No, because no realtors are showing rentals anymore either.
Luckily, like they shouldn't be. It's a waste of money. I mean,
I know.
$250. I got to do everything, and then they're gonna like pick through my lease and tell me what I can and can't do for their client. They're gonna want 6 months so that they can sell that person a house, and it's like, ugh. Most of mine are just like direct owner. I list it on Zillow. I get the tenant through Zillow. I show it. I write the lease. I boom, both sides lock it in. You know what I mean?
I agree. Well,
Mhm.
we just have a different pool of places to advertise. That's
Yeah,
all,
that's great.
Because
I
the
know.
furnished
I'm
rentals
jealous.
are a little different. MLS for us is only good for 30 days or more.
Yeah.
In fact, they restrict you from
They won't let
listing
you
anything
list a
that's less
short.
than 30 days.
So they like
So
that.
midterm rentals, we call them 30 days.
It
or
was
more.
a couple of years ago, but the MLS actually invited us into like this big roundtable meeting, and they said, "Look, vacation rentals are totally a thing, and we need to know if the MLS should be involved in them." And we gave this whole spiel on, "Look, they're a huge piece of business for real estate. We
Mhm.
should be able to list them on the MLS and get other agents involved."
And all you have to do is sync the
they
calendars.
they basically
Yeah, that's cool though.
And they wouldn't do it.
they came to the
They
decision
don't
of
do it. So
no.
you have to manually go in there. And
There's no longer
Jesus.
even a field that says vacation rental, yes or no. It's basically you list it
It's
as
there is still.
it's a
field, but
monthly
yes.
furnished rental is how you're listing it now.
Mm.
It's not a short term.
But then if you do get bookings on that monthly one, you got to go and update MLS
manually,
individually.
it doesn't integrate.
Oh,
With
you would have to
anything at
update
all.
MLS individually. That's why our MLS.
We get calls from agents
listing-
all the time. They're like, "Oh, we want the peak season for this property.
Yeah,
These
like,
3 months.
yeah,
It
so-
looks like the price is $3,000 per month." And
Yeah,
we're like,
like,
"No,
no.
that's the summer rate, and also it's already booked for peak season. It's just
Mm.
that calendar's not updated." So
That sucks.
Well, and it's tough. We can't update it on 200 properties when we're
I
getting
know it could
bookings
be
every day.
exhausting. It's like a clerical nightmare.
It would be a clerical nightmare. But
Yeah.
so we went to this conference and we had all this great input, and they were
Didn't
like,
care.
you know what, we are just going to stay away from vacation rentals altogether.
Yeah.
So honestly, the MLS and AAR and
Arizona law in
Reserve and
general.
Arizona law. I mean, there's not a lot.
They-
We're
they-
kind of in the Wild West
I
about
saw this.
vacation rentals.
They
I
still.
saw this thing on Instagram the other day about NAR now like worried about getting sued because it's like trying to keep MLS as like a proprietary software, and they feel like it's somewhat deceitful to like consumers. They opened up a bag of worms on this, but they were talking about how MLS might need to become like a free to access type thing.
For
because
like
For,
now-
for
everybody?
agents or for
Period.
the public.
Period. Like just
Interesting.
like they're gonna have to like let people go on MLS themselves.
I mean, with the MLS feeding to all
Right.
these other sites, the public can see these listings
Well,
on a
if you
different
if you
site
go
no
back
matter
and
what.
think about what MLS was used for, is it was used as an opportunity to take a listing that you have and offer it to other agents for an opportunity to co-broke.
Exclusive.
But they did away with that when they decided to go with the seller compensation addendum. If you think about it, they essentially said no longer are you allowed to advertise what you're co-broking to other agents. We're going to take that away, and it has to be a separate thing,
So
right?
now it's
so
just so
now
generic.
there's
Yeah.
no point in it, right? We're not using this as an opportunity to co-broke and show what we can offer. That's been done away with. So now what stops the public from just being able to have access to it, right? The whole platform has changed.
Right
and they
now.
didn't-
It's just a search engine for agents, but
I-
it's
yeah.
not a. It does. You're right. It doesn't tell you anything else
They-
other than the details of the home.
I think they inadvertently removed the point of it to some degree. You know what I mean? 'Cause
A
it-
main point for sure.
yeah. Which is probably not the best plan.
A little small secret too is one reason we also use the MLS is because other realtors can see that we have a lot of vacation rental
Mm.
listings, and then they call us and say, "Oh, I have a client that's buying a vacation rental.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to manage it?"
True.
Or
yeah.
so a secret reason we use it too. The other reason is because when people are booking and they know that you're a real estate agent, they know it's not weird, it's not an individual homeowner, it's not scammy, it's not whatever they think that all that could happen to them
Totally.
is. There's a license involved, and naturally nobody's going to mess with their
Don't
license.
book your vacation rental on Craigslist. Don't do it.
Yeah, never.
If you are doing that currently, don't.
That's a bad
Stop.
idea.
Get onto
Did they have
any
them on there?
other site.
That is-
Yes.
Do you even use Craigslist anymore?
I don't
Is that
know.
even
just,
a thing?
just the scammers do.
Yeah, right. I think so. I mean, I don't know the last time I was on Craigslist.
I would say some.
Isn't that what
person-
Facebook Marketplace
some
is
personal
for now?
homeowners do it because and Facebook Marketplace,
Yeah.
and the reason is because there's very few places you can list something for free.
Dude, I got banned from like Facebook Marketplace for a year. Why? Because I took a residential rental listing that an owner like demanded over and over again. That I put it on Facebook Marketplace. So I listed a rental on Facebook Marketplace, and I was banned from Marketplace for a year.
Oh.
I'm like, for what, dude? Like, I'm
I'm selling
allowed.
something.
I'm like, I've
we
got this
tried-
property management agreement. Here's this license of mine. Like, what are you talking about? What did I do
Yeah.
wrong? They're like, they couldn't give me a reason. It was like completely arbitrary. I was like, cool.
We tried doing some marketing through Facebook,
Yeah.
and I think I was the one that like created this terrible ad because I just did it by hand
For
myself,
sure,
and I
yeah.
said, let me just spend $50 and get this out.
Banned.
Immediately,
kidding.
the next day, I did get banned.
Yeah,
our
I know,
entire
so did
marketing,
I. I
our
did.
entire marketing thing was down, and I asked. I think it was Bill Ross at our office, and I was like, "What's going on?" He's like, "They do this all the time when
I
you're
know.
brand new.
It's
Give
another.
it a month, and you'll be back up."
It was
And
like another agent, or all it takes is like maybe just one report in your band. I got
Yeah.
it too. We tried marketing property management services under like Alex and Brianna way back in the day when we were first getting started, just like pay per impression ads. I think it was like maybe a budget you set per day.
Yep.
Next day, banned.
Yeah.
Like, for
I'm glad I'm
what?
not the only one. That makes me feel a little better.
It was completely arbitrary too. I was like,
I
what
thought
did
my
we do?
marketing career was over.
Yeah.
That's the scare about places like that. There's not a month that goes by, at least once a month, that we get a call from someone that says, "Hey, we just got to our vacation rental that we booked through XYZ somewhere else, or we found on Marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
It is so terrible. It is misrepped. It is horrible. Please help us get us in a real place right away." And
What-
we, of course, accommodate.
What's
them.
even worse is we get calls from VRBO and Airbnb
Oh, yeah.
saying we have a guest that checked into a home and it's
it's not
terrible.
what it-
Things aren't right.
Yeah.
This homeowner we need a place for this guest. Can you help us?
Oh, that's
And if
cool.
we have a place, we obviously will. But it's it's crazy how even on some of these professional sites, you have bad actors that again, read your reviews if you're a traveler, and if you're a host, read the reviews of the guests because it works both ways, and those will tell you what you need to know about
Well,
the
it's hard
host.
because they're just a tech company.
Yep.
Yep.
No,
In
they're
all
just passing
honesty, they're
information.
just a tech company with a good algorithm, and they have like secure ways of payment processing, and that's like what they do. They don't have the like manpower to be like boots on the ground and see if this is
No.
legitimate
No.
and actually like verify complaints that people might have against properties in
VRBO and
person.
Airbnb have never seen any of the properties
No,
that you're
none
going
of
to
them.
stay in. They never will. They are the middleman that
They're
puts
a
you in
marketing site
contact with
only.
the host. And at that point, there's a good reason to pay them initially if you're going to a place you've never been before. Like, how
Mhm.
else are you going to find a place to stay?
Totally.
But that's where your relationship with VRBO or Airbnb really ends. Is they connected you with that host, and if
Right.
something comes up, they will act as a middleman between the two of you to try to come to some sort of
And they're like
resolution.
a
But you
little
might not be happy with
and
the
they're like a
resolution.
little mini title company. They're
Yep.
holding that money in escrow to make sure you don't get screwed over.
Well,
Hey,
and-
Brett, can we take a? I gotta pee.
Yep.
Is that cool? Brett, can we take a 2-second break?